Well, if a picture says 1,000 words, then I shall cram a gallery in a verse, and I can paint smiles all over hurt, or I can draw love all over earth. The heart gallery, mind, body, and soul. Another story is told, so here we go again. Poetic justice, this is poetry in motion. You would have thought that I was using Langston's pen. Well, it don't even take a whole day to see sunshine. And art is the imitation of nature. So when it rains outside, just know everything will be alright. Because something good shall grow later. See, I learned on life's campus that anything's a canvas. It's all in how you paint the vision. Just add some truth. Don't subtract the negative. Multiply the positive before you seek division. Or some shit, if you can dig it.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm testing.
Imagine yourself floating to the highest elevation, lighting up your region because you're grounded.
It's just different.
Live and direct from the middle of the world, a whirlwind. I win still. We win still. We win. Damn right I float. I ain't no joke, I'm rockin' with the flow. They can drown in the flow, they been drawn to the current. Better get you a boat. I'm going to the ship, I'm sure for sure. I've been lost but had to find myself. I'm just a prophet but I need wealth. I'm more than a man just being myself. But most prophets gon' still need help. Shit, you can ask Moses. He had to double back for the knowledge. I be breaking down scripture like Anja, the promised land on the other side of your blinder. But some don't wanna remove them lenses. Some don't wanna climb that mountain. The fountain of youth all in my semen. I'm procreative ever since I found her. Queen Amina, goddess. You hear me? Damn right I float, damn right I'm go. Yeah, damn right I float, damn right I'm go. Yeah, damn right I float, damn right I'm go. Yeah. Damn right I float. I ain't no joke, I'm rockin' with the flow. They can drown in the flow, they been drawn to the current. Better get you a boat. I'm going to the ship, I'm sure for sure. I've been lost but had to find myself. I'm just a prophet but I need wealth. I'm more than a man just being myself. But most prophets gon' still need help. Shit, ask my father and my mother, they had to help me. I was searching for love in the highs and the lows, but then I fell in love with the beats. I was trying to sound so perfect. I was like, look at me, but they started using me as a mirror, cause we are reflections. That's way too deep, that ain't way too deep. I swam with the sharks and I ran with the lions, contemplating suicide, but listen close. I had to kill things about myself, I crossed that out and then I rose. I come from the east with a word. Watch how I walk on flows. Some don't really wanna hear that there. Get to know me or leave me alone, damn right I flow. Damn right I float, damn right I'm go. Yeah, damn right I float, damn right I'm go. Yeah, damn right I float, damn right I'm go. Yeah, look. Damn right I float. I ain't no joke, I'm rockin' with the flow. They can drown in the flow, they been drawn to the current. Better get you a boat. I'm going to this ship, I'm sure for sure. I've been lost but had to find myself. I'm just a prophet but I need wealth. I'm more than a man just being myself. But most prophets gon' still need help. Shit, you can ask.
Welcome back.
Amen.
I love you.
And I share.
like you. Always and always. Namaste.
Wheresoever you go throughout the world, the black man is discarded, is ostracized, is relegated to the lowest in things, social, political, and economical. This therefore suggests a problem and one that must be solved. We in this section of the world are not entirely free from this unkind, unsympathetic, and uncharitable behavior of the groups or races around us. But since man has been placed on his own responsibility, whether he be black, white, or yellow, he must act on his own account. We will not unduly whine or complain, but reason among ourselves and see what can be done to remedy this state of affairs. Life is a conflict. You have to fight your way through it whether you will it or not. Those of us who are able to fight most stubbornly live, accomplish most, and to them go the laurels, the palms, and triumph of our civilization and world. We unfortunately have not been trained nor educated in the truths of life, paradoxically so. May I say something to you to give you a true knowledge of yourself and life, so that the same glory and success attained by other men who understand themselves may be yours. Man in the full knowledge of himself is a superb and supreme creature of creation. When man becomes possessor of the knowledge of himself, he becomes master of his environment, the captain of his own ship, the director of his own destiny, the accomplisher of his own ends. Man should understand himself because man is full of knowledge, and this knowledge is a gift of nature. When Mother Nature created man, she deprived him of nothing. He was given the faculty of understanding all things around him. This faculty for understanding has not been taken away from him. None of his senses have been taken away from him. So there is no excuse for the black man in lacking the knowledge that man is used to beautify the world and produce all that he needs for his happiness and civilization. Look the world over, and whatever you see in it that is pleasing to man, contributing to man's comfort, to his needs and to his satisfaction, it is but the work of man. Man blessed with the knowledge of himself and the understanding of all things around him. If you are able to live with the knowledge of yourself and with the greater knowledge of nature, you must know what is good and what is not. You must know what is finite. You must know that which is material, physical and otherwise is at your disposal to create or otherwise use. If we leave America and go over to the east to Japan, they will be telling their fellow citizens of Japan of the wonderful accomplishments of the Japanese people, proving that man is moving onward as time moves on. But you have hated yourselves as you have done in previous years. You have shown malice, prejudice, and hate to each other. And the result is that while other races have made progress, while India has made progress towards nationalism, while Ireland has made progress towards republicanism, while the whole world has made progress in man's accomplishments, you still stand fighting yourselves, dishonoring yourselves, showing no disposition toward that higher life so that you will be abundantly blessed. So reflect and think that you were created for some purpose other than exhibiting malice toward your neighbor or fellow men of your own race. What a pity it is that we cannot stand united without the written law. There is no written law compelling other races to stand together. They are brought together by the gentle touch of nature. The unwritten law of nature causes them to stand together on all occasions. So wheresoever you find them in the field, that one gentle touch of nature causes them to stand together, if need be, die together. But with the black man, you can preach to him from the pulpits. You lecture from the platforms, from the byways and the hedges. The spirit of cooperation, but he will not cooperate. You talk to him gently, you try talking harshly to him, he still will not cooperate. The result is that he falls prey to those who understand themselves and walk through the world making you their serfs and slaves. We must acquire the higher knowledge of life. Black men and black women, will you get the knowledge that the white man has that causes him to be leaders and masters in the world? They are not gods with a peculiar source for understanding the world around them. They have only given expression to the knowledge of their humanity and been able to use and conquer all to their satisfaction and glory. And that is why they are always greater than you in every community that you find them. Isn't it strange that wheresoever the white man is found, he takes precedence over you? Why is that so? Answer that for yourselves, black men and black women. Wheresoever you come in contact with the white man, you always have to go down in defeat before him. Whether it be in England, in France, or in America, you always have to go down to the white man, and yet he has 2 eyes, 2 feet, 2 hands, same passions, same senses and feelings as you have. Your feet are not put on opposite sides, now your hands turned around the other way. But it's because you fail to use your will, your knowledge, and your mental faculty to the point where you will enjoy life around you. It is against us as an African people. It's not because of color. It's because of our condition. If we must have justice, we must be strong. If we must be strong, we must come together. If we must come together, we can only do so through the system of organization.
feel me? I seen the pain all in his eyes. The full press on their chest from where they had stalked them out. Aggression bottled up for the explosion deep inside. And blood all on his hands that probably need to be washed. But some say it's permanent. Leave bruises on your mind. All your credit decline. If you ain't with this shit, so we got a body last night that's false confidence. Pop the perkin and sniff my line. Adrenaline rushing all in the back of his ride. Listen, I can feel his energy shifting the whole time. I can tell that when he say he ready, he really lying. Yeah, I can smell the thing on the rise, so I can't ride. Cause something really just don't feel right about it this time. My gut feelings and intestines tangled inside. Listen to the feelings is what I was taught in life, yeah. Conflicting feelings is sorta like suicide when murder demons trying to get even at ease. And I'm just riding, hey. Wishing we would cherish life, yeah. See, I'm just riding, hey. Wishing we would cherish life, yeah. See, I'm just riding. Wishing we would cherish life, yeah. See, I'm just riding, hey. So I'ma do this thing that I do in these schools and I have a repeat like this, hey. Cause if the sun don't shine, I will. And if the sun don't shine, you will. And if the sun don't shine, we will. I will, you will, we will. Church. And if the sun don't shine, I will. Hey. And if the sun don't shine, you will. Woo. And if the sun don't shine, we will. Yeah, listen. But if I could travel backwards, what would I do different? Would I protect my homies from the bullets before they hit them? Would I have pleaded harder like, yo, just stay in school, brother? It ain't shit for you back home. Yeah, you know it, brother. You about to have your son soon, so call your baby mama and tell her you be back. You gotta get it, you know you love her. Sagging and crazy, I love her like my real brother. With all this fire, but no one can make it place for you. I sit and think sometimes when I'm off days in my mind about my brothers in skies. But y'all the stars in the skies, there's some sort of God in light. I mean, I really don't know. I get so lost in my flow. Do y'all know how to? Sometimes hey yo. Sometimes I sit and talk to ghosts. I'm trying to decipher my dreams. Won't back me down in post, but my hook's just like a ring. Some of y'all doing the most at ease, and I'm just riding, hey. Wishing we would cherish life, yeah. See, I'm just riding, hey. Wishing you would cherish life, yeah. See, I'm just riding. Wishing we would cherish life, yeah. See, I'm just riding. Wishing we would cherish life, you feel me? As an artist, I feel like my purpose is to, use our gifts to have an impact or change the world or whatever the case may be. I ain't gonna put that on everybody else. I just know that's what it is for me. So as a rapper, as a poet, as a gallery curator, as a youth mentor, these are the things that I continue to embody. And using my experiences to hopefully reshape the world to help the next person. Cherish life. T.Walker and everything. So this next song, so this here song is called Grateful. And I hosted
Always and always namaste.
Yo, let me turn this camera on. Welcome to yet another episode of ADQ's Renaissance. I'm your host with the most, keeping 100 from coast to coast through God our boast. ADQ. Yo, it is Sunday, August the 1st, 2021. Is it me or is this daggone year going by really fast? It's going by faster than a crack baby on faster than a crack baby jacked up on caffeine and a Red Bull. This year is going by so fast. Hey, one month from now, your boy's gonna be turning 36. 1 month from now, your boy's gonna be 36 years old. Praise God for that. Praise God. So, speaking of God, yo, we got some God energy in the building. I mean, of course, you got some God energy in the building when I'm talking, but we got some extra power up in this building. Now, I'm going to tell you who this brother represents. The soul Society. That's right, the Soul Society is back in the building. Shout out to Born King. We had him last year. Soul Society, which is to support opportunity, unity, and leadership. Let's talk about their philosophies and the mission. The mission is to motivate people to work together and provide resources for people to prosper, living a positive life while contributing to the community in a productive way. Woo! We are implementing a village mentality, bringing the people together to share positive and productive energy. You know, I do feel like I could daggone climb a mountain when I'm around these brothers. We plan to help people tap into the gifts of their soul and locking in on their personal life purpose by providing platforms, all these P words, for experience and exposure, while also bringing in talent and expertise to inspire, motivate, and mentor. Now, their philosophy. A major problem in the community is the lack of opportunities for middle and lower class communities. Young people growing up in poverty can only be as good as the education that they get and the things that they see people invest their hope into. Yes, people become criminals by seeing other people they look up to, or just seeing other people provide for their family by committing crimes. At the end of the day, everybody in trying to secure comfort and stability. So we want to expose the people to different things and open up doors of opportunity that will allow them to create positive means of providing themselves. This man once said in a lyric, I've been on my ever since I started thinking different. I started feeling life different, started living self-care. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to ADQ's Renaissance, brother T.Walker. Yo, T, what's up, brother?
What's happening with you, ADQ? How you feeling, bro?
I am feeling incredible. I am living the dream at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. Those of y'all who get thirsty every now and then, like I do, boom. You know, this is the route to go, right, brother?
Absolutely. Seek no further.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the Bible says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God," and you know, I tell you, this water that alkaline water that y'all be pushing makes you feel God-like, like for real.
I believe that because I know that.
Absolutely. So, brother, how you doing today, man?
Man, I'm all good. You know, it's been a beautiful weekend. You know, so I'm just, you know, continuing to ride off the energy, you know, the heavy energy that is.
That heavy energy. Yo, I gotta ask you something. So, ever since I first met y'all brothers, you and King, right? Mm-hmm. Y'all have this very educated vernacular about how you present your mission and all that you are on. Did you always talk like that?
Yeah. You know, I always, you know, had a way of, you know, articulating, you know, what it is, the points I wanted to get across, the messages that I wanted to get across. So, I mean, I guess it's always improved in different ways, you know, as, you know, growth comes about, as you have conversations with other educated people, as you get better at articulating, you know, your thoughts, your messages, your expressions and things of that nature. Then as you become in a position of teaching other people, that you got to continue to grow in it as well. So I feel like I've always had it. It's just been constant growth, you know, and finding the right words as well.
You're not originally from North Carolina, are you?
I grew up in North Carolina. I was born in Wilmington, Delaware.
Right.
And I would, you know, go back there, you know, summers, but I spent majority of my time in North Carolina, you know, so I mean, I did, you know, some traveling. You know, I would go back to, like I said, Delaware during the summers. My grandfather, you know, me and King, you know, and all our other cousins, our grandfather, you know, took us different places, you know, during the summer, you know, where we would spend a week, you know, just us, the men, you know, learning and doing different things. But I mean, all of those things contributed to the experience of us just seeing the world and, you know, further learning what it is that was out there and how to go get it.
So this is proof right here. You're proof, okay? Mm-hmm. One could look at our current president, Joe Biden, and think, dang, bad things come from Delaware. No, good things come from Delaware. And you're a living proof of it, sir. Now,
Indeed.
I gotta ask you. So I've been listening to your joints and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Anybody who has an ear for hip hop and an appreciation for hip hop, you know, T.Walker definitely has to be on that playlist, especially if you're going around saying stuff like, if I'm really being honest, being honest, sorry, my bad handwriting. If I'm really being honest, I'm losing touch with that previous, oh heck, I'm going to read a lyric. If I'm being honest, I'm losing touch with that previous shit that they taught us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from America to Zoo.
I've been trying to find myself. Food for your thought. I know you feeling famished.
Mm-hmm.
Now, real quick, I want you to tell me. I think I know what you're talking about, but it's never safe to assume. What's the previous stuff that they taught us?
Christopher Columbus, you know, discovered America is one of those previous things, you know, that they taught us, that they continue to still teach, you know. So that's one of those things, you know, that milk builds strong bones, you know, and these are things that they teach children, you know. So these are things that continue, you know, throughout your life, you know, that you implement in your life, and then you as a parent continue to pass down. So those are, you know, just some of the things, you know, that's taught, you know, even certain, you know, learning, you know, about different religions. You know, I grew up in a Christian family, Christian household still, you know, but, you know, there are certain times where you'll get taught that people in the Nation of Islam or in the world, you know, that are Muslims or things like that are bad people, or that you can't deal with other people that practice other things. And those might be just some other closed-minded, you know, people that, you know, that have learned in a way they were, you know. So there are certain things that, you know, that I'm shaking, or that I have broken and have shaken, and are continuing to learn other things and develop alliances with other, you know, phenomenal people, because I am shaking some of these things. I intend to shake up the school system a little bit by, you know, not teaching, you know, some of these things and continuing the same, you know, type of education. You know, so I mean, there's a lot of different things, you know, even like my eating habits, you know, I'm shaking some of those things, and not that it was intentionally taught, you know, because these are things that our parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, family, friends have done all their life. You know, I'm learning different ways to mine and how I interact with people, or, you know, my quality of life and things of that nature. A lot of different things are being broken, still are, you know, because I'm still continuing to learn.
So my response to that is, I remember while working as a TA, I worked for a school system, but I'm not going to tread lightly. I'm going to tread truthfully. So I worked during my work as a TA, I saw how my lead teacher was teaching the kids about Christopher Columbus, and I was thinking, wow, we're in 2021, right? It's time that we abolish all the syllabuses that the Daughters of Confederacy has presented to school systems to teach kids, because this is a blatant lie. Milk, that's cow pus. That is stuff that builds up into a cow that's milk that's meant to feed a baby cow, not us. Let's see. You and I both know a brother, a very great and articulate brother, who looked like baby Malcolm, who was a member of the Nation of Islam. I don't know about you, but one of my most favorite albums that dropped last year was basically a soundtrack to the Nation of Islam. I am referring to a written testimony. So anybody who thinks that, you know, that's a bad thing is wrong, because I'll even go this far. Malcolm X, when he came out of jail, he went straight to the when he came out of jail, he found the Nation of Islam in jail, came out of jail, was, you know, pretty much doing his thing. He built his name while being in the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam helped him become who he was.
Right.
So that puts complete mistruth. Those are lies, you know what I'm saying? And I like how you are talking about growing past it, right?
Absolutely. Moving past a lot of different things. I mean, there's so many different things that we're taught and ways of life, you know, that we live, you know, that we have to kind of, you know, break down. You know, even the idea that you have to go to college in order to be successful. You know, I'm really realizing now that, man, I'm seeing a lot of kids start businesses at early ages, you know, because they have talents and expertise. And I feel like we as a community can cultivate those things. And not that we haven't already, but it's not the majority, you know. So these are things that I'm looking to implement out in the whole world, you know, in my own children's lives, in my own niece and nephew's lives, you know, and then continuing, you know, that cycle from there, creating new cycles.
So you said, so you said that you came up in a Christian household. Tell me this: how does T.Walker, how does you mind if I put your government out there?
Terrence Walker, yeah, they know that.
Yeah, Terrence, yeah. I mean, the T guys stand for something, right?
Tabernacle.
But you mentioned growing up in a Christian household. I hear bits and pieces of Christian messages in your music, but I see more conscious than anything. So for those out there who have fully ascribed to Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light, if you ain't Team Jesus, then you are going to burn in all eternity. How did I feel like you don't ascribe to that way of thinking? So what caused your change from that, you know, Team Jesus or Team Fire to where you at this current moment?
Just simple exposure, you know, by really connecting with other people, you know, who were Buddhists, you know, who were in the Nation of Islam, you know, who people that meditated, you know, versus prayed, which to me is really the same thing. You know, I think we have all different paths, you know, to God, to Allah, who, whatever, you know what I'm saying, you choose the name, you know what I'm saying, or whatever name has been chosen through, you know what I mean, your cultural practices. But these type of things, you know, expose that to me. And I feel like everything is like different bits and pieces of a puzzle. So there's things that Christianity has and practices that the Nation of Islam has, and a certain piece, you know, that people practice in Buddhism, you know, that we all are in the same direction, you know. But I feel like culturally there have been things that have been placed here to, you know, make us be combative, you know, so that we don't join forces, you know, and, you know, really push, you know, further and higher and bring all of our tools and sources together, but not to make the answer longer. Exposure, you know, just that simple, by having conversations, you know, with other people, by having conversations with other Christians who didn't think like, I guess the typical or stereotypical Christian, you know. So that was really it, exposure.
Marcus Garvey, who was a Christian man, would say that the key for the prerequisite for connecting is not your religion, is the fact that you're black and you're on code and you're down for the cause, right? And I think that should be that is a mindset that should still be championed, because, you know, saying that there is only one way, well, you know, everybody thinks that there's one way, and my way may not be your way, or your way may not be my way. It just depends on the person.
Right.
So I got to ask you about the bars. I want to ask you about the movement, but I got to ask you about the bars.
Talk to me. Let's dissect them.
These bars, man. These are not. How old are you, man?
I'm 32. I'll be 33 on Tuesday.
32? Oh, happy early birthday, Leo season.
Yes, indeed.
So I ask you because I remember back in the 2000s, the early 2000s, you know, music was just popping out the South. South. You remember that time? The only rapper we had representing us here in North Carolina was P. Pablo. Very few rappers from the South were known for lyrics, were known for bars, were known for saying the type of stuff you be saying. It was pretty much Gilbert. Maybe the Ghetto Boys were saying stuff like that, but no one from North Carolina until Lil Brother came on the scene. But most of the rappers, especially on the mainstream, were in the club pushing people, saying, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So I gotta ask you, when you say things like, let's see, I got bad handwriting. Speak behind my back, feel me opposite of my love. Feel the opposite of my love. Speak behind my back, feel the opposite of my love. Picture one of them picture Lil Jon saying something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when it comes to the bars, who would you say is like your top 5 influences? Your top 5
influences. So what I grew up listening to a lot of, different artists. So I grew up listening to Jay-Z. One of the first albums I purchased myself was DMX, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood.
What?
Yes, sir. You know what I mean? I listened to Outkast.
Woo!
I was listening to, I remember, when we had BearShare, when you could download all different types of music. That was my introduction to Kanye West before College Dropout even, happened. There was a lot of his like mixtape, music that was coming out that you can find on YouTube now. And I was really fascinated by Kanye, by the production and by the way he was pushing out, lyrics, as well, and the things he was saying in his lyrics. And then I loved when he would, drop the albums and you would find certain things from those old mixtapes that would pop up. Lil Wayne, was one of my favorite artists, because I loved the way that he just constantly came up with different metaphors, but there would be so many different rhyme schemes and patterns within the lyrics. That was crazy. And those are the type of things that I listen for and listen to. Cadences are very important to me. And Wayne had it, like that. Twista, was very influential. I actually named my first rap name, and I might have said this on the interview before. I think I have with Main Man, but one of my first rap names back when I was, doing the chat room raps and things like that was Kamikaze. And I named myself that after Twista's album, Kamikaze. So rap really, I got a lot of education from rap, which is why I'm so intentional with certain things I put in there now, because I will look up words, based off of things I might have heard Andre 3000 say, or Wayne, who was a psychology major, say, or things that Kanye, or groups like Do or Die, I like their sounds and melodies. And then Twista would have an album named Kamikaze, and I got to go look that up. And I was fascinated by the definition of it, and I was like, dang, okay, sometimes I think a little wild and crazy. And music is one of those places where I could express that, even though I wasn't considering myself an artist at that time because I was an athlete. But these are some of the people that influenced me. I grew up singing in the church choir, so Kirk Franklin was somebody that inspired me, because songs like Melodies from Heaven wasn't your typical church song, so and I rocked with the way that he was able to make hip hop, make R&B artists, make everybody who grew up in the church or came from the South with, and that's a part of your background. He put that on the mainstream and made it sound dope. It didn't sound like something that just your great grandma and them were singing. So these are some of the things and people that influenced me. I can, probably continue to go down the list, but these are, some of the things and people. I think you asked me to give 5, I'll probably give you 15.
You gave me some good ones. I mean, I'm kind of slapping myself because I didn't mention Outkast. Outkast were quality lyricists, and they were very creative. Lil Wayne, we started getting super creative with the Carter, the first Carter, which I believe is the best Carter.
Mm-hmm.
So, and as far as Kirk Franklin goes, Kirk Franklin's always been dialed in, been tapped in. I mean, shoot, he has a song out with Lil Baby right now. Whoever thought Lil Baby would do a gospel song, right? So, so what?
And I said, who knew? You
Who
know,
knew?
that would happen. But that's the perfect, you know, example of if we in a direction, then, you know, we should collaborate and come together. You know, the same way that people expect Crips and Bloods to come together, you know, when the world is in shambles. You know, Christian, Muslims, math teachers, scientists, you know, hip hop artists, visual artists, we should all come together and, you know, take this mission to another level because we need each other.
I agree. We totally need each other. When it's two heads are better than one. However, with your chorus and flow, you said on Rakim with the flows. So I assume Rakim had influence there too, right?
Yeah, well, I more so say my mother and my father had the influence, you know, so I listened to a bit of Rakim, but all of those things came through my mom and my dad, you know, who grew up in hip hop, you know, so now they gave me the influence through these people and then through a lot of different movies, you know, that came, you know, through hip hop. So really, that was like a homage to my mom and my dad at the same time.
Very, very dope. That is dope. Shout out to a 2-parent household, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it wasn't, you know, but I got a chance to experience both of them, you know, without it being like crazy. You know, it was, I can go see my dad, you know, for the summers, and then I come back home, and they had a cordial relationship, so it wasn't like they were bumping heads. So I did get a chance to, you know, see, you know, something like that work.
Well, in that case, I'll say shout out to a 2-parent upbringing. In Float, you say, I swam with the sharks, walked with the lions, contemplated suicide, but
listen close. I had to feel things about myself. I crossed that out and then I rose.
Yes, had to kill things about yourself and cross that out and then rose. Would you agree that a lot of us are very scared to kill things about ourselves? A lot of us get stuck in our own ways, thus stunting our growth as human beings.
It's evident, you know. It's very evident, you know, in the way. I mean, you can see how people now are transitioning into vegan and vegetarian lifestyles, and other people who aren't required to make that change have so much to say about that sometimes. And it's like, nah, for one, that's not your change. Two, you could make that change too, but I think you kind of stuck in your ways. And that's cool. You know, whenever change comes for you, it will. But I think that's yeah, absolutely. Some people are just so afraid of change or breaking tradition and creating new tradition.
Yeah, and it's like, me, I don't like tradition. Tradition, like what happens what works in 2021 isn't something that will work back in 2001 or even 2011. Definitely not 1991.
Absolutely.
But as far as the bars go, so I heard this one song, right? It kind of like elevated my lyrical expectation, right? It's Comma in the corner, right? That rhyme scheme, he was saying stuff like black church services, murder bits, they rather serving burgers and cats with gold furnaces. And I'm like, what? Street lights and deep nights, cats trying to eat right, riding on seat bikes, they work the fee high so they can get sweet thing. I'm like, what? Common ain't rap like that, but still. And I've been trying to find it. I really have, but he hasn't. And it's been hurting my feelings not hearing him rhyme like that. But so tell me this. What would you say with your bars? What would you say as you are being an intentional artist? What's your goal?
My goal is really to just inspire, you know, so as people see my growth, I want people to aspire to continue to find growth within themselves. You know, you can swim with the sharks and you can walk with the lions, you know, but you also, you know, since we out here in this world, you know, that is a jungle or safari, you know, then there's so many different things amongst it as well. So, walk with the lions, but also fly with the birds, rise above, at the same time. So I'm really just aiming to inspire, and continue to tell my truth, at the same time. Sometimes my goal has nothing to do with other people. It's simply for me to just tell my truth or find a therapeutic space or just have fun. And I kind of want people to do the same thing as well. So not so much even focus on the fun of other people or the conscious part of it. Nah, do you? You know what I mean? Because all of that, if it's truly you, it's going to be a part of it, to do. And I want to be able to display of that.
I will admit little ADQ information out there. I have been known to get on the mic and throw and say a bunch of words that rhyme in the past. Still do it seldomly. I write poems the same way I write poetry the same way I write raps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you do that? Do you write your poems, or do you write your spoken word differently than your rhymes?
I write it the same way. It's really just all writing to me, essentially.
Yeah, because rap to me stands for rhythm and poetry.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you have told us, well, first of all, last question about the bars. How do you what's your writing process? Because again, I'm not blowing smoke, but when I listen to your songs, I feel like I'm in class. I don't know whether to call you T.Walker or Professor Walker. How do you put this all together?
Well, I do have a song called Professor Walker, that I did while I was in college.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so but that's somewhere on the internet. It was I don't even know where to find it. Maybe on my SoundCloud or something.
It's somewhere.
My writing process. Man, it's so many. I have so many different processes. These days as life constantly changes. As I'm a parent. As I'm an entrepreneur. So sometimes I don't find the time to sit and write. So I'll literally ride to beats and sometimes just come up with my cadences in these until I have time to really sit and focus, but for me it's just really I'm constantly listening to beats and coming up with things that I want to say. I might be driving and I might listen to the same beat on my way home to Jacksonville. From here it'll take me 3 hours. I might listen to 2 or 3 beats the entire ride, just going back and forth, playing it over and over in my head, constantly getting things and finding different, things that I want to put in there until it's stuck in my head. And then I'll do things like a open mic. I'll perform a song I've never even recorded to get a reaction, from a crowd, to see how they respond to it or see how they respond to certain lyrics. And by the time I record it, that might dictate how I say something. It's a constant process, for me. And sometimes the process is in front of the crowd. They just don't even know it. And so I like to experiment in those type of ways.
To me, and I know definitely firsthand that you have an experience for visual art. I mentioned visual art because you are the type of artist that will put together a painting in front of a crowd and see. Let me see how they would feel about this line. Let me see how they would feel about this circle, this red paint instead of the expected blue paint, something like that, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Oh yeah, you sir are an artiste. Now, hold up. Last question. I promise this is the last question about the bars. Because we gotta get to the soul.
Let's do it.
You dropped a new project last year. When's your next project?
I don't know. I'm actually thinking of doing a re-release of this project.
Do it.
Because I think people need to actually hear it. I had it only accessible really via my website, and some of the songs are on Spotify, Apple, etc., etc. But I really want people to tap in with this, and I have a lot of visuals, that'll be coming, from that. project as well. So I'm in the process of working on some new things, constantly riding, listening to beats. One of our distributors in Atlanta, Water Distributors, is a phenomenal producer, in Atlanta. So I've been riding to some of his beats and just coming up with new things. And then I try things down in front of a crowd, sometimes in form of poetry, sometimes with the beat. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's one right there. That's going to work right there. Or I might be like, nah, I need to change that beat. So I don't know, you know what I mean? But this is, the 33 years, so who knows, what's going to come. Who knows?
I'm going to start calling the 33rd year the Jesus year.
I've been hearing that a whole lot.
Hey, maybe you got some messages for someone. Maybe you need to help somebody walk across some water, or walk from one water end to another water end, meaning walk from the Dasani water to the live alkaline water. See what I just did there?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So before we get to the water, because I want to say that the water, I'm not blowing smoke, but it is literally the best water I've ever had in my entire life. You can ask your brother, you can ask King. I am what you would call a repeat customer.
No doubt.
Because it is great, incredible water. I don't know if I look like I lost any weight, but dang it, that water made me feel like I lost weight. So, but first let's get to the soul. The Soul Society. What is the Soul Society? Yes, I could read the definition off of the internet, but I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. Not calling you a horse, just using the phrase. What is the Soul Society, and why do brothers like me celebrate it very much? I think you know why, but just, please expound.
Well, we are a society, and we are constantly, connecting and touching with like-minded people who are on a similar mission to educate, people, to enlighten people, to get deeper into the ways of expression, by providing support or opportunity, spaces of unity, and creating leaders at the same time. And I feel like we are all leaders in different, spaces. And we also have to be taught how to follow each other as well. One of the things I let people know, or talk with people a lot when they fear, being the follower. I'm like, nah, Dr. King's movement would have been nothing if he didn't have to get hit with rocks with him. He was just the person whose name we know. But I mean, all these people behind him, they got spat on, they got hit with rocks, they got arrested, and all different type of things. So we're really a society, and of recreating, the godlike energy, within us, or letting people know about that within them. We really focus a lot on the youth because, we hear all the time that the youth is the future, so if we're going to focus on the future, if we're going to continue to build the future, then those are the ones that I'm constantly looking to pour into, while still connecting with their older brothers, their parents, and things of that nature, because everybody's got to be in tune, and it's all about the soul. So Soul Society.
So when you say that, a Frederick Douglass quote comes to my mind. It's better to build a strong kid. It's better to build a strong kid than repair a broken adult. Something along those lines.
Absolutely.
And that's why I believe. Now, redemption, no one could be redempted 100%, yeah, but most of the energy needs to go into the future. Would you agree that our people, unlike other cultures, most other cultures have like a 50-year generational plan, and we do not have one?
That it's hard for me to agree with. Because I can't say that every other culture does have that. We see that with some cultures, and then there's some segments within our culture that does have that. It's definitely not the mainstream, or not, the main number, so it's hard for me to totally agree, with that, and again, I don't really live, amongst those other cultures enough to know, so that's something that I probably would have agreed with, last year. But I'm constantly like learning that, man, some of these other coaches don't got it together either. You know what I mean? There are some that are maybe more privileged, but shit, in some cases they don't even got it together. It's just they just have certain levels of privilege, where they were able to pass things down. So that enhances even the plan that they might think of for 5 years. They might have certain steps ahead even without a plan. But I think we are working towards implementing that in the minds.
So I'm gonna tell you, that's where I have a lot of appreciation for what you all do, because I've seen and heard of movements that feel like I've seen and heard of conscious movements where they felt like in order to legitimize their movement, they had to put down other groups, right? Y'all don't do that. Y'all don't put down other groups. Y'all constantly focusing on building, and I like that.
Yeah,
it's like
it's too much energy. It's too much energy wasted, in trying to like focus, on what this group is doing or is not doing. We got so much work to do. It's like, nah, like, we gotta eat our breakfast over here and then get the lunch and then dinner. I can't even watch that person's plate. I know that they got food though, but we need to focus on this and then make sure everybody else got breakfast, within this tribe as well.
So tell me this, what does the growth of our people and getting to a point where we are self-sustaining, because as powerful and as major as the Soul Society is, it's not just the two. It's just you and King in the Soul Society, right?
No, not really. I mean, we are the two that people see, but it's a lot of people that we work with that's Soul Society also.
Gotcha. All right, well, y'all the ones that I see. Yeah. It's y'all two and everybody else who is involved, but it's more of a major thing that covers, worldwide. Well, I'll say nationwide. I'll say statewide. Would you say that the key thing is to just focus on your area and then gradually move about different parts, spread the message?
Absolutely. And you can still spread the message while you are focusing solely on your area, so, and that's one thing that, I guess I have the privilege of as an artist, while I can affect and touch these schools and be in these schools more frequently or work with this collective more frequently, I can still go to Portland, Oregon and rock out a show there and get my message and go to a classroom there also, or DC or Baltimore, but come back home and probably learn things, from while I'm in DC or Portland or Philadelphia, and then come back home and make sure, we are feeding, this collective, a lot more, because this is where I'm at. And I gotta focus on home, because even while I'm on the road, this is where my nieces, nephews, my kids, my friends' kids, this is where they at. So definitely putting more of the energy here while continuing to spread it, at the same time.
Atlanta has Killer Mike. Mississippi has Nick Banner. Crenshaw had Nipsey, but I'm sure they had someone else in Nipsey's spot. We got y'all. Greensboro and Winston-Salem, we got y'all. Does that level of responsibility ever make you second guess anything, or does it just empower you to go in, like a lion, ready to just straight chomp someone's head off?
Straight like that, it's empowering. You know what I mean? Not only do you have ability, we have support. So that helps any movement and any mission continue to move forward and grow, is when you have the support. If we didn't have support, then it would be too heavy, and we'd have to, figure out where it's going to come from. Because again, while, people see us and the movement and leading the charge, it's so many other people that assist and help us and support us that keep this thing moving, that continue to help us grow. You know, we might not have met you if we didn't have support from other people that allowed us to like live in Greensboro, because we're not from Greensboro, you know, but this is where we live, you know, and this is where we are constantly, you know, continuing to grow and build with other like-minded people. And it's only through the support, you know, of the tribe and everybody that really rocks with and aligns with us.
Facts, man. Facts. Now, I'm over here asking you everything, what does the Soul Society do? But I didn't even ask you how the Soul Society even come to be. How did it come to be?
Man, it's so many different things. So, our grandfather, you know, was huge on, you know, building and developing community. And, you know, me and my cousins, my brothers, we saw that. Not only did we see it, we experienced it, because we were along the ride with him for certain things as he would visit people, help people, you know, do different things within the community. We'd also hear about it. So we were part of these things. So long story short, there were so many different things, you know, going on within the community, you know, in our hometown. And, you know, me and bro, we were just in discussion of like the different things we could do as we were learning at the same time. And so we just decided to form the society. It was his idea, you know, because he was really, you know, passionate about, you know, helping, you know, the people and teaching. And I'm passionate about the arts and teaching through the arts. So we just combined all of these together, which is why it's important for everybody to not be focused or not be doing the same thing. You know, you have to pull in people who have other levels of expertise and ideas that can enhance, you know, the movement. So, you know, after a friend, you know, of ours from the hometown, you know, being murdered, you know, that was like the thing that sparked the anything could happen. I mean, and it could happen tomorrow, you know, so we should go ahead and progress and start this movement now. And once we got rolling, we never stopped rolling from there. I mean, from peace festivals to visiting schools to art galleries to poetry shows. And I encourage people to just do it, you know, just do it, because we didn't know essentially what we were doing. We didn't even know how to get a nonprofit started. We didn't know how to go about doing some of these things. It was just like, this is what we want to do, you know, so we're going to learn along the way. And it's been so many times we might have, you know, fell on our face, you know, where things might not have gone our way or the way that we wanted them to go. Well, we stayed consistent and learned along the way. And that's what Soul Society is all about. It's what it's all about, teaching and showing people as well. Get started, do your thing, because the best way to learn some things is through experience. And if you don't experience it, if you don't get out there, it may never happen, you know. So it formed through passion.
Yeah, it may never happen. It'll be a shoulda, coulda, woulda. One thing that cripples our potential as people is fear. I associate an acronym with fear. False evidence appearing real. When you are like tapped into your God energy, when you are tapped into your potential, when you have set your mind to know that all things are possible, then fear is kind of like, what? I can't hear you, fear. You become deaf to all the doubt and everything. So I salute y'all for that, because I was watching the interview that brother had with David Banner, and David Banner was praising y'all for how consistent you all have been. And I praise y'all for the consistency that you have shown, because dang it, how consistent are we? You know what I'm saying? That is one demon that we need to trample upon, the lack of consistency. So, like I said, I salute y'all for that.
Much love.
I'm gonna throw a few books at you. I want to know which ones you are most familiar with, and which one could you see yourself, just diving in, reading, and taking lessons from. You ready for it?
Okay. Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Okay, let's see. I got here the selected writings and speeches of Marcus Garvey.
I would love to read that. So I mean, there are different things like I found on YouTube because I love to hear his voice. So and now that I have his voice in my head, reading those speeches will ring on a whole different level. Because I'll be able to hear his tones, and I don't know. I'm like that. Sometimes, or I don't voice to it. But I would love to dive into that.
I would love to play Marcus Garvey. I won't even cut my hair to do it. From the Browder File.
Oh man, so I was watching the interview with him and David Banner. I can't even think of the author's name right now. But
Anthony Browder.
Yes, yeah. Oh man, yes. I haven't read that. Would love to, because I love the interview and how deep he went into it. And then he also has a timeline, that comes with it. That I think that'll be powerful for classrooms for sure.
Yeah, it is powerful. It's in it, he is breaking down what it means what Christ means, where Christmas comes from, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I've walked inside my church with this several times. If somebody was to open it and read what Anthony Browder was saying inside of it, woo-wee. Autobiography of Malcolm X.
Oh yeah, I've started that one. Love Malcolm X. Absolutely.
Same here, man. Same here. Now, the Bible.
The Bible. Man, I've been introduced to that in so many different ways. My father's an apostle. My grandmother, is a pastor. My aunt, prophetess. Her husband is a minister. My other uncle is an apostle. I grew up in the church choir. I've experienced it from so many different levels. I might experience it, from having conversations with my dad and we breaking things down. And I love having those conversations with him because he knows how to connect it on a universal level. Whereas I'm not just reading this, this scripture or this passage and expecting you to just totally understand it. Now let's have real conversation about it. And there's so many things and life lessons and pieces of moral that's in there that I think if the people that supposedly live and die by that, if they really dove into it, they'd get some other understandings, themselves. And I think they'd also have questions to ask also, so yes, sir.
Well, in that regard, I would have to ask you, what's your favorite scripture?
Be still and know that I am God. Sometimes people are too busy just being on the move, or trying to figure out, the direction. Nah, sometimes you gotta chill, and that's my favorite because I've had to remind myself of that so many times. Nah, just be still and let God work.
I get be still and let God work vibes all throughout that float video, man.
Facts. Well, man, it's heavy meditation. Be still, chill, let your mind rest.
Yes, man. Yes. I would say that my top favorite will be Luke 1:37, where it says, "For with God, nothing is impossible." And that has helped me, achieve heights and feats that I could have never foreseen myself doing without the Almighty. Now I will ask you this: you have a passion for the arts. You rap, you do great poetry, you have helped some kids' dreams come true as they present their visual arts. And I applaud y'all for that. It was a beautiful thing to see, especially homegirl, man. Homegirl, I'm like, dang, is she 18? Is she 18 or 30? Yo.
Well, that's what's powerful about the ability to be able to articulate what it is that you're feeling, or what it is that you need to express, and having an outlet to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That, what was it? Chaos is
chaos.
What does it say on the rubber band?
Yeah, chaos.
Yes.
Chaos is creativity.
Absolutely. You know, I also the quote that said, "What's bad for your heart is good for your heart," and that kind of aligns with the chaos is creativity to me. You know, because I mean, you take all of this mess and you can create something beautiful out of it. The same way that artists do all of the time. You know, I just experienced 21C in Durham, which is a hotel that has art on all these different floors. But last night, one of the ladies, Miss Regina, took us on a tour through the restaurant. The restaurant was closed, you know, but, you know, she took us on a tour, and all of the different art that was on the wall, there was shoes, shredded tires, thumbtacks, and different things that people would probably just throw away, that people made so many different beautiful pieces of art. You know, so out of chaos is creativity. What's bad for your heart is good for your art. You can take the darkness and create light just like that.
Ooh, agreed. Definitely. Now, I must ask you, speaking as an active participant in my favorite art form, the theater.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever indulged or engaged on the stage outside of rapping or doing poetry?
I have no. Hold on. I mean, I have, you know, in my younger years, you know, doing plays, you know, in middle school, high school, things of that nature, and then like even beyond that, as a mentor, I've helped, you know, some students, you know, during stage plays, Jungle Book, Lion King, things like that, you know, with younger, but not myself as an actor with lines that I've got to memorize. And it's something that I'm interested in doing. I've been in a movie, didn't have like a big role, but I kind of got the feel, you know, of that creative process. So I would love to, you know, stage, because I love all things creative, you know, and I feel like I could, you know, pull some other pieces of my personality in creative ways, you know, to the stage, for sure.
Well, speaking as a man who has acted in 44, 45 plays, you know, I'm not stunting really. I'm just throwing actual factions out there.
Right.
But in doing that, I say the stage awaits you, my friend, because you got to have a little bit of theater, and you got to have some theater inside of you to be able to tell these stories through song and through spoken word. That's theater itself.
True indeed. I agree with that.
And if hip hop wasn't theater, then daggone Hamilton wouldn't be the biggest box office play out there right now. People love it because they are spitting in there.
Mm-hmm. If hip hop wasn't theater, they wouldn't have somebody like Beyonce, you know, do the whole Lion King soundtrack, you know, because we need all of these things, you know, to enhance the movement, you know, to enhance the moment, rather.
Did you see Black is King, man?
Absolutely. I saw it when it dropped. I got Disney just for that.
Man, when I saw that, I was so happy that I had my ex-girlfriend's Disney Plus. So I was so happy because I saw that. That was church right there. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that joint was powerful. I enjoyed it.
I mean, seeing all that African culture, seeing how us who are from America got with them who are in the continent, and just was like, yo, we're family. We are one family.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I first heard the Burna Boy joint, Jara. Love that joint.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that's where I was jealous of Jay-Z because I grew my locks just to get my hair like that. You know what I'm saying? But I failed miserably, but it's all good. I still look great with it. But that, and what can Beyonce? I didn't think that Beyonce could top Lemonade, but she did with Black is King. Now, what can she do to top Black is
King? We shall see. I mean, the best is yet to come. We don't know. You know what I mean, man, you never know. I mean, and it might drop tonight at midnight.
It might. No one heard.
Yeah.
But you want to know something that was missed, that I believe was missing from Black is King?
What's that?
That should have been drinking on this in the daggone movie, man.
Facts. They should have been drinking in it, swimming in it, all of that. That's what they need in their life.
You like how I made that segue?
Hey, let's do it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's so many different ways that you make the transitions, and you did it.
Thank you. So, how did y'all get into the water game?
Man, so, on a mission, so we talked about self-sustainability, earlier. And on a mission for our own self-sustainability, but to teach young people, about land, about getting your hands dirty, about how to plant things and then reap your harvest. We were in search of different farmers and people with land who were willing to be a part of this educational process as well. And along with that, we were introduced to a brother that not only had land, but water, aquifers that's pushing this water out of the earth, So in that process out there, connect, see what's going on, and some things are already, going in process, and this was something that we wanted to be a part of. Had no idea that we'd be encountering water, never even thought about, and things of that nature. But that's how it came about. So we were having conversations on how to become, join in on the business portion of it. And bro jumped out there and, kind of got some things started. And then we, we're just having conversations on how to grow this, how to create, distribution in other places as well. And man, we've been rolling. You know what I'm saying? We just celebrated 1 year of being in partnership, with Live Alkaline Water. And
that consistency I've been talking about, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
Nah. That's where I was, we just celebrated that year and have been in reflection, of that process. Year kind of went by fast, man. But yeah, it was a process of learning, about water and then getting into the people and still learning, so many different things. But man, that's a piece of the story.
So I'm hoping that the Pepsi company will not sue me for saying this, but I remember seeing you at a look like the same joint where y'all shot the float video at, but I remember seeing the video where you were pointing out all of the chemicals that's in Dasani and how pure the water that you all push is from. So just to be 100% clear, there's absolutely zero chemicals, zero additives or anything in the Live Alkaline water that you all sell.
Absolutely, live and die by it. No additional unnecessaries in there.
So the water that I can get from the store, there are additional unnecessaries in there. You've been in the water industry for a year, so you probably know this. Why do they put those additional things in there?
Well, they'll water from any source. They might, or get it from a river or whatever, and then take it through a process of stripping it to remove whatever toxins are in it. But they also strip it down so much that it's just a liquid. Then they have to go back and add artificial minerals and things like that. That ain't living water, that's dead water. That's water that you had to kill and then try to bring back to life. You don't need that. That's why it's live. That's why on the Live Alkaline bottle, you'll see a body with chakras up there because it is fully living. The only process that is taken through is a process that oxidation process to kill any bacteria that could be in the water, and our body even needs, some of that as we continue to build, strong things to that nature. But it takes out any of those toxins, but doesn't strip out the 108 minerals that's naturally in the water because the land is on a mineral-based bed property. So not only that, we are in direct connection with the source. So we can speak these things with so much truth because we know it, because we are out there often, knowing what's going on, seeing the building process of even what's going on the land is such a spiritual experience.
So I'm back on your website, and let's see. Here is number one. Just point this out. Is black owned, all natural, 100% chemical free, H3TO 2O, sourced from an aquifer with springs that sits above a mineral rock bed. The water contains a natural pH balance of 7.4 through 8.2 and has an alkalinity of 8.0. Live alkaline water has over 108 minerals that the body needs. The best part is that no artificial processes was used to alter this water. It comes fresh from the source. The benefits are natural detox, 108 minerals, heals skin ailments, reduces menstrual cycle. Wow, for ladies, weight loss, strengthens immune system. I wonder why I don't get sick, and increase levels of energy. And if you won't take my word from it, how great it is, Master P drank some of it, loved it. Dr. Umar Johnson drank some of it, talking about Yakiville. What the heck? Yakiville, really? Yakinville. Enjoyed it. It's black owned. I enjoy it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I've ever drank as much water. I don't think I've ever drank as much water in my entire life.
Things happen with different levels of intention, once you learn things and become educated on things. So I drank, water, but I drink it with a different level of intention now because I know, what's going on with this water. So I know, that it's flushing, toxins out of my body. I know that is helping, we on. I think we still here. I'm gonna wait for the brother to come back.
Sorry about that, brother. I lost signal. Yo, T.
Okay, we good.
Yeah, sorry about that. My signal dropped. Sorry about that.
No doubt. But yeah, I've been drinking more water, now that I, totally, know what's going on, and just really it was a part of changing, my lifestyle as far as eating, and working out as well. Because some of the best ways to activate the benefits is, through the changing of your eating habits as well, through the changing of your daily routines and workout habits, to really, put these minerals to good use, in your body. To people see the weight loss portion of it and it's like, all right, just by drinking this water, am I going to lose weight? And I'm like, sure, but what else are you doing to assist with that? Are you still eating and like not moving? Like, nah, you got to move your body as well because you got to, release some of these toxins as well. That's assisting with the build all of the additional weight, that your body has. Muscle building comes through even oxygen, so nah, you got to put that pure, in there. Hey, we got two of you in the building.
Okay, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that, T. Had to take care of some things that were lacking. That's why my computer was tripping. Technology even works. So what was you saying about the water? You know how you cannot just drink water and expect to lose weight?
Oh yeah, we got to be active. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the key way to activate, you know, anything is to be active. You can't activate without being active.
Yeah. You have to be active in order to activate. That's why the word active is in the word activate.
Tabernacle Church.
So I have had you for almost an hour and 15 minutes, man. So tell me this real quick. What does the future look like for T.Walker?
The future. So, I'm a father, you know, right now. So, you know, as I'm teaching so many other kids, you know, you're gonna see my super kid, you know, grow, you know, from all of this expertise that her father has, you know, gained. But in the creative world, you're gonna see me into my gallery curation on a whole nother level. You know, so it's something I've done for the past, you know, 5 years. Soul Society's been in action for 6 years. So I guess I've technically been doing it for 6 years. But now I'm in a different space of study when it comes to gallery curation and other curators that have come before me and what it really takes, you know, to be a curator. You know, it's more than just putting up art. And I love, did you get a chance to check out the exhibit that I had up from February to April, the Soliloquies exhibit?
I checked out some of it. I wasn't able to look at all of it, but
the experience that I was able to create with that was really dope because I was able to educate on so many different ways and tour people through the exhibit. So I love the idea of the experience, you know. So I'm looking at, you know, different things other curators like David Driscoll did, and, you know, learning and figuring out ways to add my own unique touch. You know, there's nothing new, but we can always upgrade, you know, and it is purposeful for us to stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. You know, so I'm studying these things, and you'll see me as a gallery curator on a whole another level. There will be, of course, plenty of music coming because I'm gonna be constantly doing that. But some people know me as a gallery curator, but you're gonna see it on a whole another level.
You know, as far as the soliloquies go, I feel like it is kind of like a marriage of art and spoken word, if I'm not mistaken.
It was exactly that. Art, spoken word, storytelling, music. It was a little bit of everything, you know, and I wanted to do that because, again, the experience was important for me.
So I'm going to briefly step out of the chair of podcast host and step into the artist chair. The artist who is promoting himself. You need to get me up in that mug.
For sure. Listen, we coming with it next. And what's crazy is I did everything. So my daughter was born January 20th. The exhibit went up February 4th. So everything. So, and there was the time of preparation for she might come any day now to, all right, cool, let me take a week off, and then I'm in the gallery for a week trying to, you know, get poems and pieces from everybody. But I'm glad that people got a chance to see it and became interested, you know, because I know that I won't have to hunt people down next time. I'll be able to, hey, I got these images that I need people to write something for, or I didn't get a chance to really incorporate theater, you know, in it, you know, in the way that I would that I will in the future. So it's something. Yeah. It's gonna be some things that come. You know, I'm gonna keep this as a constant evolvement exhibit. You know, so let's do something for sure.
Let's do it, man. Shoot, send me a piece, and I could definitely write to it. And as far as theater goes, I mean, as I'm flipping my unk around, just finished it today.
No
I was
doubt.
fabulous.
Oh, okay. How was it? Like, how was the full experience?
Oh man. Well, for one thing, this was like another. This has been something that I've been doing since I first moved to Greensboro. I would be in Shakespearean plays, and they would take place outside, just to fully grasp the feeling of what Shakespeare plays were like back in his days. Now, I don't want the entire experience, because back in Shakespeare days, all of the female roles were played by little boys. Now, not in this lifetime, not in next lifetime, never. But in regards to the actual performance and the feedback, I've got great feedback, and Shakespeare has long been a hang-up for me, because I could never understand what that weird little white man was saying. But I finally got an idea of what he's saying. What he was saying was straight poetry in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Though, while a lot of my theatrical friends and comrades greatly celebrate Shakespeare, my Shakespeare is the great August Wilson.
Yes, indeed. He also, his daughter's name is the same as my name. My daughter's name, Sakina. I learned that later. So that just gave me another reason, for connecting, with August Wilson as well. What's that movie that just came out that was, based on one of his plays?
My Rain's Black Bottom.
Yeah, that Chadwick Boseman was in.
That man was suffering from hardcore pain, from colon cancer, while doing all of that.
I mean, this man, he plays so many different Jackie Robinson, James Brown, Black Panther. Like he did. Like, man, he touched on a little bit of everything and everybody. It was like, wow, he put it out there. He definitely put it out there on the line. And when you live for it, you live it. You know what I mean? Until it's over. And he definitely did it.
Yeah, not only that, but he was also Thurgood Marshall, and people don't talk about 21 Bridges very much. But I like 21 Bridges. He could have just kept on doing, big event films as a superhero and stuff, but him being the artiste that he was, he put himself in that crime thriller genre, and he did really well in my opinion. And also, when he was in The Five Bloods, Spike Lee was messing with us because he knew we wanted more of Chadwick.
Oh man, yeah, he killed that. I haven't seen 21 Bridges, but I've definitely seen all of the others.
Yeah, so I don't want to be another Chadwick Boseman, but I long to attain the level of skill that he attained, and hopefully, if possible, overlap it, get better, be better, something like that.
Hey, listen, it's truly possible. You know what I mean? No question about it.
Yeah, what people don't know was brother was also a playwright, and bless our us who are quick with the pen, right? So when you start putting together that soliloquy, please send your brother some paintings and stuff. I'll have some words for him, because I had some words for the paintings that I saw at the gallery joint last weekend. Just, man, them kids got skills, man.
Yeah. I mean, and we got to continue to put them in position, to where they can see that, to where they can get that feedback, because they doing these things out of passion, and out of love. But again, being able to be exposed to that type of feedback is important as well, for them to be able to hear from DJ Ian Pop, from Vanessa Ferguson, from Main Man, people who come from different walks. That's very important, because I mean they take that, because then there's also people that could be that age and that experience, that's not in that field, that could be like, man, this is a hobby, man, put that art down, you know what I mean, versus somebody that's letting them know how important they are and how important their artistry is. So we got to continue to put our young people in these positions.
Agreed. If anything else, hopefully they'll know that there are people selling paintings that don't look half as good as their paintings for billions of dollars in New York museums.
Mm-hmm.
Now, real quick before we wrap this up, I asked you what's next for you. What's next for Soul Society?
What's next for Soul Society? So we're bringing back some of the different things that we during the pandemic. We were locked in on this water, but the Heart Gallery experience is one of those major experiences that gives young people the exposure to the arts and the platform. It's like our open mic for visual arts, where poetry and all these other things are included, but there's no like open mic for visual arts. So we'll be bringing that back. We were doing the Hydrate the Hood, where we would, go into different, predominantly Black, communities and neighborhoods and give away, the live alkaline water. We are fortunate to be able to utilize this as a stream of income. And we want to make sure that people continue to get access, to this water as well. So we know that you can go get like Pure Life, a case of that for like maybe $5-6 or something like that. So economically, it will benefit them to go purchase that, versus purchasing, something that, costs more from us. So we're going to continue to do the Hydrate the Hoods. We are giving away this live alkaline water because of how essential it is, and that only comes again from the support that we get from other people that made donations, people that, contributed, people that came out there with us and knocked on doors and delivered water. We're a part of the Beautify the Block, where we went to places like Claremont Homes and just cleaned up, because part of the mental is very connected to the visual, so if you see, trash, if your home doesn't look like it has worth of value, then you'll treat it as such, but you also live there. So it's like, what am I worth? If this place that I reside, doesn't seem to have value. So we'll be continuing to, do those things that we do in partnership with our brother Dom, the intellectual action there that the light-skinned Malcolm X you was talking about earlier. Akeem, who was really the one that came to us, with that, something he had been doing in Philadelphia. And we were like, hell yeah, we're going to do that here. You know what I'm saying? Why not? So continuing to, do things like that. And hopefully we can really get back into some schools. If not, I'll do like I did at the beginning of the pandemic before and do like virtual writing workshops. And I'll do your typical one where I'm focused on the structure of writing and alliterations and things of those nature. Those things come, but I'm focused on simply your expression, simply you just writing on paper and getting things out and having dialogue and you being comfortable even with that collective that we're working with to talk, because I feel like young people don't have, everybody can talk, and you can find somebody to talk to, but I feel like they don't always have that space that feels safe, for them to articulate their expression. See, even some of these youngsters who think they gangsters, like I have conversations with them and I can feel their fear, you know what I'm saying? I can also feel their need for connection and family. So, they find, these people that feel like family for them. I know that they need finances, so they gonna go to who is providing, some financial stability or a job, for them. So really being able to continue to connect and provide some spaces, and opportunities for them. That's what's next for Soul Society.
Last question. What schools do y'all go to?
So we were at Cone Elementary School. We were doing a lot of different things there. Our friend Kay Marley, one of our sisters that she inspired me just by seeing how, she organized and shaped her classroom and the things that she had around in there. A lot of RBG, a lot of messages, from people like us and the ancestors, and she brought people in. Dudley High School, we had a program in there where we were able to be most consistent, called Life Designs, where we were essentially in the in-school suspension, and so we would be in that class, and we would have groups of young men come in there on 2 different periods, and we would talk. We would have real conversations about the world, about what's going on, about what they aspire to do. Excuse me. And things like that. And then our brother LB, who's out in Winston-Salem, he was at the Winston-Salem Street School and things of that nature. So we would, pop up there with him, and go in there and spit some rhymes. And then, again, have conversation. My biggest teaching style is focused on the dialogue, because through the conversation, then I can implement science, history, and all of these other things without them feeling like this is some structural schooling type of thing, which sometimes is intimidating or boring, So adding my own flavors for all the neighbors, you dig?
Yeah, most definitely. Well, there's a couple schools that I would like to see y'all make your presence felt in. Both of them are schools that I used to work for. Jones Elementary School and Washington Montessori School. I have a plug. I have a little bit of a plug over at Jones Elementary School. They are right across the street from Hampton Homes. We got little brothers and little sisters there who could use some Soul Society in their life. And I'm pretty sure that the same need is prevalent over at Washington Montessori School. So if y'all could put those 2 schools on your list, you're needed there. I will tell you that you're needed there.
Plug us in. We with that for sure.
Well, Washington Montessori, I don't have a plug there. I left there on bad terms, but Jones Elementary, I might have a plug. I might.
For sure.
So,
we might be able to wiggle our way up in there.
Just might be able to. They have a black principal, and it's a predominantly black school, so you just might be able to. I hope you're able to. You will do it. God stood out there in the middle of darkness and said, "Let there be light." If we are made in God's image, then we have the right to speak things. So you all will wiggle your way up into Washington Montessori School.
Church.
Now, how can someone contact you for water, get you on a rhyme, give you a beat because they're in a giving mood, pull out your acting side and get you in the play, or get on your gallery? How can someone contact T.Walker?
Well, the website is Heavy Energy University. So we're shipping throughout the country. So if you need some water, all you gotta do is go to the website, put your order in, and we'll get you right from there. I'm Terrence Walker on Facebook, so you can find me there, and you can, continue to see the things that we have going on. My inbox is always open. I'm T.Walker NC on everything from Snapchat to Cash App and everything in between. That includes Instagram and whatever y'all might have, except for TikTok. I ain't up there yet. But yeah, these are different ways to be able to reach me. If you want to hit me via email, then at TWalkerNC, just add a dot between the TW. at gmail.com.
And anybody who is Soul Society affiliated and you are watching this, if you want to hit me up, my email is adq4christ@gmail.com. Twitter, Avenue ADQ_85. Instagram, Dion Chocolate Guy 85. And Facebook, Adrian Dion Quarles, ADRIAN DION QUARLES. Please do not call CIA on me. T!
Yes, sir. My connection was messed up, so I just got back.
Man, that's why we about to end this call. Someone's watching this. not wanting all this black power to get up out there. So, but yo, thank you for your time, man. Thank you for your gems. Thank you for all that you contribute to the culture. You, sir, are a very valued, needed, desired, necessary member of the Renaissance. Our people are great. Our people are better because of you. So thank you, sir.
No doubt about it. I appreciate you for having me. And constantly providing a platform for people to share knowledge and gain knowledge at the same time. We need our vessels, continue to do so. So I appreciate you for that.
I appreciate that, brother. Now, in this episode, you will hear lots of T.Walker music, but I have to play a joint for my brother GP. A song that he did with his kids. T, you can check this out if you would like. That he did with his kids. Black fatherhood in its purest. From his album that he dropped on Saturday, The Re-Up. Let's see if I can find it. Hopefully T, you can do some work with brother.
Say that again.
So what? I said hopefully one day you can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I said hopefully you could do work with brother one day, but check out this video. This is Mr. GP featuring his kids.
Let's go.
Superheroes.
There's a Jeremiah Lynn on 25 on Channel 5 News. Oh my, there's something really cool, extremely cool. 3 people being up a villain. What the heck? I heard somebody say villain. I heard somebody say superhero. Wait, are these superhero fighting? Wow. Superman. We are superheroes. We have superpowers. We stand tall like a Avengers Tower. Super. We are superheroes. We have superpowers. We stand tall like a Avengers Tower. Super.
Taking off, running with this true foundation. Kryptonite, your situation is only temporary. This information is very necessary. If you open to believe, you are open to receive. You can get up out the run to the devil to shut up. When I lift my hands in praises like flying. To say he didn't chase me, I be lying. No resisting over here, we straight applying. We don't play the victim over here, we sharp as iron. We read the scriptures over here, we keep them buying. Superheroes saving souls, Jesus Christ, he in control. We on my faith is getting swole. Thank you for protecting my family, my bros. Thank you for that confirmation, making squad goals. If we beef up on it, we're climbing that pole. Put the pressure on in this loud, wild, living cool. Searching for that living water, catch me standing at the brook. No matter how dark it looks, we sticking to that holy book. We represent the king of kings, I'm going to let my kids sing.
We are superheroes. We have superpowers. We stand tall like a Avengers Tower. Super. We are superheroes. We have superpowers. We stand tall like a Avengers Tower. Super. I'm about to take off with this verse now. Hey, super drippy with the sauce now. Hey, it doesn't matter what it costs now. Hey, we winning souls cause they lost now. Hey, we super sick with it. This ain't a pandemic. You better run away or you're gonna catch a fade. We plead the blood in Jesus' name. We don't play games, yeah. It's not a thing, yeah. Superhero kid, yeah. That's my gang, yeah. So who want it? You can get the smoke. We spread the gospel everywhere. Oh, yeah. Step inside the booth. Oh, yeah. Step inside the booth. Put my super clothes line. We take our time, we fighting battles all the time. Yeah, we combine like the fusion, superheroes in this thing, and we got no time. We are superheroes, we have superpowers. We stand tall like a Avengers Tower. Super.
Yo, what you think about that, brother?
We are superheroes. We got superpowers. I definitely always go for a good affirmation.
Say it one more time.
I said I can definitely always go for some good affirmations.
You know what I'm saying? Now, before I let you go, I just want to point out, his son. Why in the world are kids wearing hoodies as high as it is? But anyway, the one who had on the hoodie with the locks back. You want to know something powerful about him?
What's that?
Boy had cancer, man. He had cancer as a youngster when he was younger. But God delivered him.
Wow, that's powerful.
Superheroes.
We got superpowers.
That's right. Ha! Man. So, yo, if you want to hear that song and some more power and stuff, his name is Mr. GP. Re-Up. The Re-Up album, where all streaming can be heard.
For sure.
And for my people who are checking this out, you can also check out T.Walker, where all music can be heard. T.Walker, GP, Natman. I know great musicians. Yo, T, thank you again for joining me, brother. I really appreciate it.
No doubt about it, bro. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. This is ADQ's Renaissance, and we out.
Well, a Jacksonville doctor is making history. She and a business partner have created their own bottled water brand. And let's just say it is flying off the shelves. And this morning, we're looking into how this valuable natural resource is creating an avenue towards success.
Pure, clean, fresh water.
A North Carolina aquifer with ties to the First Coast.
Pure, clean.
Passed down through generations.
So I had a great aunt that came to me and said, look, stopped the church service, came in, she said, you follow me. Went out to the church, looked down the fields. She said, your blood of your ancestors crying out for you. You're responsible for this.
This spring has been part of Robert McCrae's family for over a century and is now the source of this new bottled water brand, Live Alkaline Water. After tasting directly from the aquifer, McCrae partnered with Dr. Shayla Creer, and they believe they had a product stores would love.
I called, I don't know how many Walmarts, and finally we got a hold of one who will allow us to do a presentation.
Dr. Creer and McCrae, they presented their business plan to a local Walmart, not knowing the regional manager would be there. And just a few months later, they made history as the first Black-owned water brand to be sold in Walmart.
I was excited. I was very excited, praising God first and foremost.
You know, but it was hard to keep your composure because it's the product that was your baby.
The excitement grew and the shelves were wiped clean in just about a month, and Creer says the reasoning for it is pretty obvious.
It's a shame when you have all these different kinds of water out there and people are still getting sicker.
So as for this water, which is bottled at the source, it's become a sigh of relief for McCrae.
Because healthy people make a healthy community. I say eat right, drink right, you begin to think right as a people.
What a great story. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. And to me, what stood out in my mind is that he actually found it on his family's land.
Yeah, his great aunt,
His great aunt told him, look, it's here, take
it's
advantage
yours.
of it.
Exactly.
That
and now he's able to make some profit. But they've already been in contact with a lot of places around the country. And then places even like in Africa have reached out to them saying, hey, we need to get our hands on some of this water out here. So we'll see, what's going to be the future for them.
Tell me the brand name again so that way we know what's
Live Alkaline Water. Live Alkaline Water. Yeah, and it's in different Walmarts. And again, they're the first brand or Black-owned brand, I should say, that has been able to be sold in Walmart.
There's a Jeremiah Lynn with 25 or Channel 5 News. There's something really cool, extremely cool. 3 people beating up a villain. What the heck? I heard somebody say villain. I heard somebody say superhero. Wait, are these superheroes fighting? Wow.
Superman.
We are superheroes. We have superpowers. We stand tall.
kryptonite. Your situation is only temporary. This information is very necessary. If you open to believe, you are open to receive. You can get up out that rut, tell the devil to shut up. When I lift my hands in praise, it's like flying. To say he didn't change me, I be lying. No resisting over here, we strict applying. We don't play the victim over here, we sharp as iron. We read the scriptures over here, we keep them buying. Superhero saving souls, Jesus Christ, he in control. We on go, more my faith is getting swole. Thank you for protecting my fam and my bros. And I thank you for that confirmation making squad goals. And we beef up on that re-up, yet we climbing that pole. Put the pressure on in this loud while whipping cook. Searching for that living water, catch me standing at the brook. No matter how dark it looks, we sticking to that holy book. We represent the king of kings, I'm going to let my kids sing the hook.
We are superheroes, we have superpowers. We stand tall like a Avengers tower. Super, 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 super. We are superheroes, we have superpowers. We stand tall like a Avengers tower. Super, 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 super. I'm about to take off with this verse now. Ayy, super drippy with the sauce now. Ayy, it doesn't matter what it costs now. Ayy, we winning souls cause they lost now. Ayy, we super sick with it. This ain't a pandemic. We going super shampoo when we get it. You better run away or you're gonna catch a fade. We plead the blood in Jesus' name. We don't play games. It's not a thing. Superhero kid. That's my gang. So who want it? You can get the smoke. We spread the gospel everywhere. Hello, hello, step inside the booth. My super clothes on. Hello, hello, step inside the booth. Put my super clothes on. We on our grind, in pursuit to draw the line. We take our time, we fighting battles all the time. Yeah, we combine like the fusion, superheroes in this thing. Yeah, we got no time. We are superheroes, we have superpowers. We stand tall like a Avengers tower. Super, 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 super. We are superheroes, we have superpowers. We stand tall like a Avengers tower. Super, 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 super. Oh my God, there's superhero guys. Look.
What's beef? Beef is when they shoot your nigga dead in the streets. You find out who it is and then you clap him by next week. You find out it was a cop and now we marching in the streets. And yeah, I'm really about that peace, but I'm just saying, what's beef? Beef is when we tell Sandra Bland R.I.P. R.I.P. Died in the hands of the police. Show us mug shots, but she was possibly deceased. We should shut this bitch down and let everybody free. Fuck the law, let them all free. Start a war with these bitches, you on the killing spree anyway. And nowadays they'll tell your ass any day. And I really kinda hate it, make me feel this way. Like, seriously, I mean, I know I guess it sounds like cool to some people to just say some off the wall shit like that, but you know. Ooh, these niggas really thumb thuggin'. Facebook crooks in real life won't clap nothing. Twitter fingers, I lost my niggas to this war outside. So these niggas faking really make me cringe inside. If you ain't really been on that battlefield, we ain't hearing you. If the right niggas really ain't vouching, then we ain't clearing you. Different whips, we was staring them. Trying to make the show Atlantic City to Philly, 302 to 910. Yo, I'm trying to make my dollars too. I'm trying to up my knowledge too. I dropped out of college too. Been making wrong turns, a nigga been gone. I felt ashamed, but who's to blame? Myself, so I picked it up and brought it back home. Hey, caught fire, baby, caught fire. Hey, caught fire, baby, caught fire. Marley, catch a fire, baby, catch a fire. Yo, hey, yo, it's early in the morning and some niggas bitch on side of me, so I don't trust these hoes. I got my phone, it's 950, I think about my lows. You know I brought my highs with me. About my lows. You know I brought my highs with me. Early in the morning. Some niggas bitch on side of me, so I don't trust these hoes. Look at my phone, it's